Zach with Web3 Reviews. Thank you for being with us. Today, it is Thursday, June 26th, and we're going to be talking about the crypto market. Let's go. Remember that none of this is financial advice. Upbit had $15 billion worth of XRP rugged from their site. Bro, what the fuck? We just had a Mt. Gox occur again? Are you kidding me? This is from Professor Stonge at Stonge PH on X. He says, breaking Upbit XRP drain confirmed. 15 billion XRP gone in total silence. This isn't normal activity. What do they know that we don't? Now, Jack the Rippler is saying it's $5.5 billion worth of XRP. Why are we getting so many different reports? Here's one from Mr. Zoom. He says, Upbit and Binance XRP exchange reserves. What's happening here? We see that their exchange reserves have both taken a dump. It's interesting, man. It's very interesting. Crypto Millionaire says a crypto quant chart shows that Upbit's XRP reserves plunging from 6 billion to 1 billion overnight, triggering waves of speculation. An internal transfer, institutional accumulation, or just a data glitch. On-chain evidence suggests that XRP never left. Whoa, what does it mean? Dude, here's an idea. What if they're getting ready to use Flr's F assets? What if, similar to Algorand, when you stake on Reki, that the tokens disappear from your wallet? Yeah, they're in there, but they don't show in there. There's a chance that the switch is about to be flipped, and we're going to get institutional adoption coming onto F assets using XRP to gain yield. If all these institutions sign up to start playing DeFi on Flr networks, if all these institutions bring billions to play Flr networks DeFi protocol, that'd be insane. Because the thing is that Flr is opening the floodgates for 79 blockchains to use Flr's F assets without ever actually leaving their chain. It's an omni-chain project, and they're opening the gates for Bitcoin, Litecoin, DOGE, and XRP, as well as 75 other blockchains through Stargate. I think this is honestly the most exciting DeFi protocol in crypto. And I know it's yet to come out in full fruition, but the fact it's right around the corner gives me a lot of hope, man. We've been waiting for this for a long time, and we're getting closer and closer to release, and it's going to be an epic release. A lot of the times in crypto, if you're in before a project really gets going, you might hit a speculative run, and then when the real project actually comes out, whether it's a video game or an NFT platform or whatever, it's usually nowhere near the speculative hype that you took part in prior to the project actually going live. Now, Flr is going to be the opposite. We've never seen a speculative run. We have had 28 or 30 months worth of airdrops. Based on whatever your current bag is, you've been getting 1 to 3% of your bag airdropped to you once a month. And that's going to be over. And it could be that that's the selling pressure, which has been keeping Flr down. And it could be that once Flr airdrops are over, that's when the switch is going to be flipped, and all these institutions are going to turn on their XRP and their Flr and their Bitcoin and their Dogecoin and their Litecoin, or whatever other asset they're going to want to put on Flr's F assets. This is going to be the place to do DeFi, because it's going to be the easiest place. XRP is gold had this to say, and I think that this is a good point. They say, how is it that Upbit's reserves could lose 5 billion XRP without any transactions being made? So they just literally disappeared into thin air. That doesn't make sense unless they connected them to F assets and they just disappear from where they used to be able to be viewed. Think about that. And now they're going to show up as like wrapped. So Radiant Mind says this, XRP exodus confirmed. Massive drops in exchange reserves on Upbit, Binance, and Bitstamp. Billions of XRP pulled off the books. The supply is vanishing. The whales are loading up. The squeeze is coming. There's only roughly 2.24 billion XRP left on exchanges. XRP is a ticking time bomb. Whoa. Dude, the supply shock. What's going to happen when everyone still wants XRP? You know, the normies haven't even entered crypto yet. They're going to want XRP, and there's not going to be enough left to buy. That's going to be the real supply shock. I always have people asking me, well, what drives the price of crypto? I'm like, dude, come on. We got market makers, we got buy and sell orders, we got institutional adoption. If one person wants to buy for this price and there's a sell order for this price, I'm trying to explain to them how markets work. And I'm like, if one person wants to sell for this price, there has to be a buy for this price. And if there's more buyers than sellers at this price, then the price can go up. And if there's more sellers than buyers at this price, then the price goes down. And so with that being said, if there's not enough XRP and if no one's willing to sell it at $2, then what's going to happen? We're going to see the price go up. I don't know about you. I'm not going to be letting go of my XRP. I have a plan to stay on that XRP rich list my whole life. I want my kids to be on that XRP rich list. I want my wife to be on the XRP rich list when I'm gone, man. It's important to me. I see a long-term value in this. And I see a long-term value in Flr too. I have more Flr tokens than XRP tokens because the price has given us this golden opportunity, man. You can get 45 Flr tokens for $1. We're going to revisit this 5 years from now. So, Ben, remember when you used to be able to get 45 Flr tokens for $1? Now it's $1 per Flr token. It's going to be something crazy like that, you know? That'll be fucking insane, dude. I really think XRP and Flr are going to be that golden goose of crypto, man. You want a bird that lays golden eggs. Golden fucking goose, dude. And I think that's Flr, man. If you're in on Flr's DeFi protocol, and you're in at these prices, 1.5, 1.7 cents. Dude, and Flare hits at times 100. We're up to $1.50, $1.70, and you've been taking part and you're getting delegation rewards twice a week. I mean, dude, even if you have 100,000 Flare right now, you're getting 100 Flare a week, getting delegation rewards twice a week. If Flare goes to $1, that's $100 a week in your pocket. $400 a month. That's damn near 5K a year. That's extra income. You don't even have to sell your bag. You could just be selling that. If you play more aggressively, the numbers just go up and up. It's just like that Greg Kidd conversation where he said, I knew if I had 1 billion XRP, every time the price moved a penny, my bag would move $10 million. Think about that. In order to be a Flare FTSO like Google Cloud or like Bifrost, you have to have at least 30 million Flare. So there's a staking requirement for you to put up and have skin in the game. It's kind of like what Gala Games is trying to pivot to. It'd be one thing if they wanted to go from that from the jump, but people already put up to buy the nodes. We have some people who spent $80,000 on the node and they gave that money to Gala Games, and Gala Games axed the node runner. And now Gala Games is saying that you need to have 1 million tokens staked. And this is a powerful club, man. Like I said, Google Cloud is in on the club. Why is Google Cloud providing infrastructure for the Flare Time Series Oracle? Why are they providing equity in the form of holding 30 million Flare? And I got in this conversation with Trader Joe about it. He said, that's awesome. I didn't know Uphold will be using it. Do you know of any others? How widely do you think it'll be used? Do you think it'll be obsolete due to any other services? Like, do we think ADA is going to come online or AAVE and really turn off Flare's capabilities? First of all, Flare is the blockchain for data. And so no, I don't think that this is going to become obsolete. It hasn't even come out yet. I think that Flare is going to be making things obsolete. DeFi is just one thing that Flare does. Flare is the blockchain for data. We need constant data feeds that are secure and reliable to make things run smooth. I mean, what if this Upbit news was bullshit, right? And everyone was getting fake news. Can you imagine? I responded to him with this post from Crypto Knowledge saying, Uphold currently holds around 1.8 billion XRP that's waiting to be used in XRP staking and XRP Fi on Flare. More exchanges and custodians will likely follow suit. Exciting times for both Flare and XRP holders. So there it is, man, and that's the argument. The argument is that these companies are going to want to stay competitive. They're going to want to earn a yield. If you're holding on to a giant sack of money and you're not earning a yield, the money is just kind of dwindling away there. You want to be earning a yield on your funds, especially if you got a giant bag. Ripple helped build Flare through a grant called the X-Spring Developer Series back in 2019. So if you think about it, Flare was funded to be built by Ripple, and Flare was supposed to be an L2 on top of the XRPL, but it might have been internal discussions. It might have been run past Ripple themselves. These guys saying, hey, we're going to build an L1, and it's still going to benefit XRP. We're doing the one-for-one airdrop for XRP holders, but we want to benefit all of crypto. There are all these assets in the same boat as XRP that just don't have access to a cool DeFi protocol. I mean, think about it. Out of the 79 tokens that are going to be enabled to start, XRP doesn't have DeFi. Bitcoin doesn't have DeFi. Litecoin doesn't have DeFi. Dogecoin doesn't have DeFi. These are 4 huge assets, and then you have 75 other assets. And let's say you wanted to right now go to AAV, play DeFi, or you wanted to go to the likes of protocol on Avalanche and start playing DeFi. You would have to exchange your asset for either a stablecoin on that network or that token, whether it's AAV or whatever it is. You'd go have to make an exchange. You might lose value on that spread. That fucking sucks. And so the fact that Flare is opening the floodgates for you to play DeFi without leaving your current chain is huge, man. And this is where we're at, man. You're going to want to be a big baller for the future. 30-year-old femcel streamer Micah bought her robot child $20K in jewelry. And Scooter says, is this the future of society where childless women adopt robots? Yeah, I think it is. And you're going to need robots for lots of things, man. You're going to need them to clean. You're going to need them to help you do things. I mean, it's just silly. I don't know what you're going to need robots for. This robot looks fucking idiotic. Dude, look at its face. I can't believe this. I mean, this lady bought herself $20K of jewelry. Let's be honest. This isn't Dobby the house elf. You give him a piece of clothing and now he's a free elf, you know? This is a robot that you get to tell what to do, right? It doesn't have free will. It's not sentient. She bought herself $20K of jewelry. This is pretty funny though. But imagine a world where men are needed even less, man. They're axing us, okay? There's a good chance you're a dude if you're here listening. There's a good chance you can see the writing on the wall. I use logic in news articles as well as price momentum to help me get a good gauge on what's happening in the crypto market. I use logic and news stories and statistics to build a worldview about what's going on. And it seems to me that men are being run out, you know? And if you want to be a high value man, it's all about money. It does not matter about anything else. It is all about money. There's only 4 inches that matter to a woman, and it is your credit card. Do not forget about that shit, okay? And if you're lucky, you will meet a good woman. If you are lucky. I did. I was very lucky to meet a good woman. I'm married. I have 2 kids. I'm very lucky. But man, the question remains, what happens? You know, I was telling my wife this. She's like, so you really think if I were to earn more money than you, that we would have some sort of problem? And I was like, listen, not everyone's the same, but I do think that you would be quicker to judge me for my lack of wanting to do things if you were in a position of more power financially than me. You know, and I'm not saying that me and my wife aren't on the same footing, but I'm the one who goes to work every day, so that way she could be with the kids. So in that sense, you know, I'm making the money and I give her money. And it's already looked down upon if I want to take a chill day. You know, it's already like, whoa, why is this guy chilling? What do you mean you just got home from work and you want to put your feet up? Like, we got things to do, we got chores to do. What are you talking about? You know? So I said, dude, imagine the power dynamic though, if you were to be making more money than me. There would be way less leeway for the lazy guy who wants to sit around in his boxers and drink beer and watch sports. Take it a step further, man. You know, I had a sick day last week. Came to my mind. I wasn't thinking about my wife or anything, but I was just thinking about this whole conversation again, okay? So, dude, what happens if you get disabled and can't work anymore? Now, God forbid that happens and you don't have your funds, right? You don't have the insurance needed to cover you if you can't go back to work. You can't get on disability or whatever. Even if you can, what if it just fucks with you spiritually, man? What if mentally, emotionally, you're not the same guy? Because you're no longer the breadwinner. You're disabled. I'm watching Better Call Saul. That's what happened to Saul's brother. He was like this big time lawyer, then he became like mentally disabled. He wasn't able to leave the house anymore because of his inability to deal with electricity in the real world. And that sounds insane. He had an electromagnetic nervous system issue. You know, he had made something up and believed it. So it seems, you know, I'm not a doctor, right? Maybe it's a real thing. The point that I'm getting at though is, men, to be a high value man, you have to have things. You have to have a place to live. You have to have security with that place to live. And dude, this can be taken from you if you're not careful. If you don't have the money, this can be taken from you. If you lose your will, this can be taken from you. If you're not sharp as a tack, dude, it can be taken from you, man. And then it's gonna be a grim future, bro. A future of fucking femcells buying things for robots because they don't care about men. In society, men have always been the ones who have to care for others. You care for your family, you care for women, you care for the animals on the farm, you care for your neighbors, man. You make trades. Take care of yourselves, guys. That's what I'm getting at. Take care of yourselves because we don't know what the future holds. I'm praying for everyone here. I don't want to see anyone get fucked. Maybe keep it quiet when you make it big, dude. Keep it real quiet. You don't need to be running around telling people, yo, I just made all this money. You don't even want to be wearing a nice watch out and about. Check this out. A guy tried to steal the guy's watch at Earl's Court Station yesterday. And this old guy's just barely running, man. He's lucky he didn't get fucking swooped up and beat down here. Nobody helped him. Look at this. Not a soul helped him. He's really trying to get him. And all he can do is like they're playing tag, dude. This is the adult version of tag, and it's high stakes because it's your life. It's your assets on the line. And I hate when people are like, oh, so you would have beat that guy's ass and maybe killed him because he tried to steal your things? You value things more than people's lives? Bro, he valued my things more than his life. I spent my time and energy to get this, and he's going to endanger my life by trying to get it? Okay. But you got another thing coming to you, friend. I'm not here to play motherfucking tag with people. Alright? I'm gonna play freeze tag with you, dog, because I'm carrying that 9mm on me. It's like Andre Nicotina said, bullets come hot, but they make cats chill. Ready to kill if a cat comes short. I gotta do this because I can't hesitate. If I do it too early, then I'm coming in late. Call Jay Lee. He said cool. Man, I'm glad you got rid of that fool. Man, there's a concert going downtown. Before you come, can you make this round? We got a package coming off Greyhound. I said we do. Why you didn't tell me? He said I was off with the family. I thought for a second, said okay, that's my homie Jay Lee. That's the homie from away. Got the location, got to the spot, picked up the drop, and I got popped. They said we got you, read you my rights. All I could think of, that was my wife. Got to the station, called Jay Lee. He said there ain't nothing I can do for you, homie. I got a good lawyer, I got 5 years. Jay Lee did it to boost his career. Gave me up to get a bigger cut. And I didn't even see it cause I was caught up in the lust. Man, this trial done made me broke. Nobody's laughing, but I feel like a joke. Wife was there, she filled with tears. She'll have a new man in 5 years. I got a cold heart, I ain't gonna lie. But that shit right there made me cry. Bro, Nikki in the morning, bro. This is what we're doing, dude. This is what we're doing, bro. And speaking of, Nikki's got that line, bro. From the Ave, he says, white folks can't pass. Give up your bag and get your ass stabbed on the Ave. And so this has been going on, bro, okay? It's been going on. Nikki was glorifying this back in the 90s in San Fran. Dude, if you don't know, you better fucking get with it, dude. Seriously, get with the fucking times, bro. This shit's not fucking sweet. You wanna be looking at your crypto bag on your phone? You wanna be looking at your crypto bag on your phone, smiling at your money on your phone, out in public? Dog, get ready. Are you ready to rumble? You wanna not have your funds right and get old and lose your ability to fight mentally with the pen. You know the pen is mightier than the sword in this society. Man, you even got a sword in England and you going to jail, okay? You gotta have your TV registered. Look at this poor old lady. An elderly English woman is told she must leave and sell her house below market value because her home is to be used to house fake asylum seekers. It seems like a joke, but it isn't. Dude, get your money up, fam. Lawyers cost money. Crazy shit happens in life, man. You know, and if you're a gun owner, if you're a sword owner, maybe, I don't know where you live. I don't know what you got, right? I don't want to know, bro. Keep it to yourself, man. Keep how much money you got to yourself. Keep your weaponry to yourself. If you're an armory, keep it to yourself, G. Don't implicate me in your armory, okay? Anyways, moving on. You probably want to get a lawyer on speed dial. I forget who it is, USCC maybe, United States Concealed Carry. You pay like a yearly fee, dude, and they get you a lawyer and retainer. And that's better than the option of not having a lawyer and retainer and needing one. And then what, you're in jail because you had to fucking defend your life and you got to scrum up 20, 30K to get a lawyer to defend you? That sounds like hell. Dude, just pay the money, get the yearly subscription, and then if the worst ever happens, you have a lawyer on retainer, you've already paid for it with your membership. That's beautiful. You got to be able to defend yourself. You got to be able to defend your livelihood. This is your livelihood we're talking about. You know, I had a buddy and he was all, oh, if the mob chose me, I would just let it happen. I would just let it happen because I'm nice and I don't want to harm anybody. I said, my guy, I need you to check yourself at the fucking door, dude. You're telling me the mob chooses you, bro, and you own a gun, but you'd rather not let it bang, let it hang, let it swang, because you'd rather get kicked in the head because you're nice, motherfucker? What if you don't wake up, G? What if you wake up but you're not feeling like yourself no more because you brain dead? People are like, yo, you remember? And you're like, come on, bro. Come on. You know, I don't be fucking paragliding. I don't fucking cave dive. I don't jump out of planes, man. I don't put myself in positions where I'm gonna be fucked. You know, you hear somebody fucking cave dive and get caught, bro, and something terrible happens to them. And you're like, yo, they put themselves in the fucking cave, though, G. Nobody forced them down in that cave. They put themselves in that fucking cave. So I'm not going to put myself in the cave, bro. And I'm not going to be that guy who says, I'm not going to defend myself. You know, God forbid you guys try to dox me, bro, and come find me, bro. Yeah, I make crypto YouTubes. I make crypto gun YouTubes, bro. All right? The same way that Chuck from Better Call Saul had that problem with his nervous system and the electricity, I got that problem with my nervous system and family and friends and strangers, bro. For real. And it's tiring. That's the way that my brain works, dude. I'm Scandinavian, man. We still got that tribal mentality, bro. You might have some fem cells from Norway, guys and gals tell you, no, we're not that way. I don't care what they got to say, bro. All right? You still got some Japanese people who will stand up and say, Japan has become weak. And then they'll apologize for it, bro. And here it is, just like this guy said. This guy who got to stay in rural Japan with his family, they made him dinner, they communicated. And this old man, he blurted out, Japan is becoming weak, before apologizing. That's where I'm getting this from. But I've been to Japan, and I've seen the Japanese nicest, and I know how it is, all right? And me and my pops, man, we laugh at the Norwegians and the Scandinavians who are so weak that they won't defend their women, who tell their women that they can't take pepper spray with them to defend themselves. Yeah, they'll arrest a woman with pepper spray before they arrest a rapist, dude. It's some crazy-ass shit out there, bro. Protect your family and your kids, man. We're on frontier justice time now, bro, across the whole fucking world, dude. I truly believe it, dude. No one will give a fuck if it happens to you, bro. The only person who will is you. It's between you and God, brother. Between you, your wife, and God. You gotta fucking figure it out. Get home every day. Carry a 9. Be ready for the fucking worst, dude. It's grim. It's grim. You ever seen Shadas? You ever seen City of God? All right, you thought because you lived in a first world society it was going to be sweet, bro? Think again, dude. Because we're poor people in this first world society, are we not? There's no middle class here. Middle class gets you in the same neighborhoods as the people who are fucking doing the crimes, bro. Well, you gotta be rich to fucking exit. For real, bro. Everyone else is in this together, dude. If you haven't seen Shadas, I recommend you watch it. It's a movie about these Jamaican gangsters. But it starts off with him as a kid committing a crime. And you gotta understand, bro. I'm from Seattle where the kids commit the crimes, bro. And they might be put on by pop culture. They might be put on by the OGs who don't want to hold the gun, dude. Just because a little homie walking up to the car, I don't give a fuck. Back the fuck up, bro. You know what I mean? And that's the energy I got for y'all, bro. All right, I'm out here singing Andre Nicotina. I'm talking about holding steel and throwing lead downfield, baby. It's Zach with Web3 Reviews. Protect your crypto like your life depends on it. Because if you go back to square zero now, fuck, man, it might be your life. Feel me? You don't want to have to start over now, big dog. Don't get rugged. Don't make me pop the trunk on you. We're out here, bro. I'm like that Tyler, the Creator video of him fucking dancing in the car, bro.
Is my job, Gucci is my right hand. Walk up like a flame, you my favorite rapper, bro. Can I trap with your bro? Jumping cap like your bro. Now stacks like your bro.
Bro, that's the energy I bring to these videos. Zach with Web3 Reviews. Until next time.